Hi, I'm Wendy Yellen, and this is The Art of Transformation. Today, we're going to talk about depression, how it shows up, and what you can do about it. Before I go on, though, if you want to be informed about these Art of Transformation videos as soon as they come out, then please hit subscribe, and thank you. I really appreciate it. So, depression can feel like a heaviness. It can feel like it can show up as you can't get out of your pajamas and your bathrobe. You may have projects all over the house that are half finished or a tiny bit finished and are dragging on you. You may have a feeling of life passing you by. These are all symptoms or signs, if you will, that you may be depressed or just really, really sad. And when you're really, really sad, it's almost impossible to have energy to do the things that you know you need to do or you want to do, or even to do the things that would be good for you and that would help you. And other people around you that care about you see you and they don't know how to help. Often, real depression, the label depression, is accompanied by some anger inside. But I'm not talking about a medical diagnosis. I'm really talking about what you or I might call feeling depressed. Now, it often begins early in childhood, where maybe we're not seen, or maybe someone that's really important to us, a mother or father, is also depressed, and we're identifying with their depression. We're identifying, we're being like the way they were, copying them, if you will, identifying with them, what my mentor, Dr. Austin, called practicing being like them, which is awful, right? But that is what we human beings do. We see people around us, and it may be a negative aspect of them, someone we care about, like a parent, and then we act like them. So perhaps they didn't take care of themselves, or perhaps they were angry and depressed, and maybe meanly depressed, or just sadly depressed, where the energy's really deflated. And then we find ourselves feeling just like them. So if that's something you want to explore, just take a moment and see, which parent do you feel like you're acting like if you're depressed? Now, that may feel horrifying to you, but it is what we humans do, so it's really good to notice it. One thing that happens is that from childhood, we feel like, well, there's no help here, so I've got to take care of myself. I've got to handle everything myself. And oftentimes that results in physical problems, because we're going so fast and so hard and so rapidly running around, that things fall by the wayside, including and especially self-care. In Eidetics, what we do is we do a series of images. When I meet with my new private clients, we do a series of images to pinpoint some of those origins. And here's a really interesting, to me, part of that pinpointing. So you could, if you think of a pole that has two ends, and we're spending a lot of time on the depressed side of the pole, and this part of us is the pathway that our neurons fire on over and over and over again. But in fact, there's another side of the pole to everybody. This side, perhaps, is greatly repressed, especially if you're really depressed. But this side needs to be lit up. This side needs to be emphasized. This side needs to even be connected to, because it's often buried. So what we do in Eidetics is we spend a lot of time on images. First, knowing where things start, knowing where the origins of some of these feelings and identifications, and then we go over to this pole and you start to experience, underline, bold, experience the part of you that isn't depressed. You spend time in this place. It comes naturally, organically through these eidetic images, and you can see it and you can feel it, and you feel alive, and you feel energy, and you feel an ability to get up and go. And that's already in you. I don't have to plant it in anybody. It's already there. It's just so buried under history. So that's where the real self is, but so often the other side is overwhelming us. So once you get a chance to really focus on the side of you that has been buried underneath a depression, energy shifts. Your ability to take care of yourself shifts. The ability to have the energy, experience the energy for self-care, which you've probably been telling yourself you need to do for a long time but aren't doing, that comes through. Some of my clients have been taking antidepressants and they don't want to. They don't want to resolve their problems that way or address their problems or Band-Aid their problems. That's how they feel, and they don't want to do that. So now they have the opportunity to operate from this other side that has the resources in them. And literally, I'm thinking of one client, get off the couch and attend to the creative impulses that have been being squashed, the love in your heart that has no energy to go out because there's just too much pressure and heaviness from the sadness. All of these things you begin to have access to when the depression starts to lift, and it lifts because there's another side to you. That's the work that I do with my clients. We connect to that other side, not to try to convince you that not to be depressed, because that does not work, in my opinion. One thing that you can do to really begin to notice what's going on for you is notice how often you have a desire and you push it away, and what you're telling yourself about why or how come. Write it down. Spend a day doing that. The desire that you have, what it is, and then what you're telling yourself about why. And you might even make a note about how many times or how long you think you've been doing that. It's really good to have the information about what's actually going on, so you can't ignore it and you can't push it under the rug, especially if you're depressed, because then it's so hard to have the energy to do something. All right, what if you want to go a little further? What if you want to actually, I'm looking at my notes, what if you want to actually talk about what deeper work would look like, deeper and different work would look like together? So I work with people of heart and integrity who didn't come here to live their life half-lived, no matter what comes in the way. So if that's you, then let's start. If you go to the URL right here, measiwanttobe.com, it'll take you to a video, an experiential video, where you'll really get a good look at the origin of what's happening, and it may very much surprise you. There's an application to fill out where you talk about your experience with the video. You get yourself on my calendar so we can have a complimentary meeting where we'll go over what you see in the video in terms of what's going on inside and how it's related to what you're suffering right now and how you can move through it. And we'll talk about what might be able to happen if we were to work together with no pressure. It's complimentary. That's no obligation. It's my gift to you. And again, measiwanttobe.com. Please be sure to click subscribe before you leave. And I look forward to talking to you and see you on the next recording. Bye.